All right, folks, we are at our next service call. We have, looks like to be an Amana A2L refrigerant system. We quoted this maintenance agreement client an ACIQ and a Bosch last year, and let's just say they went with the cheaper bidder. But Daniel was here to do a maintenance and startup for the seasonal tune-up that they get, part of a maintenance plan, and it was low in refrigerant. So let's verify that. So Eric is attaching the low pressure probe for the climate class onto the service port. Looks like we are at 104. Now he's going to do the high side. Now we're going to get our temperature clamps. High side. All right. Let's set this to R32, and it looks like we have hardly any subcooling. It's still dropping. 0.5 subcooling. We have 106 on the low pressure, 246 on the high side. The HVAC school tells us that low subcooling occurs when the condenser is starved for refrigerant and is typically an indication of refrigerant undercharge. So it could be a possibility they never added refrigerant when they started up the system. So let's get the scale and let's get the R32, which is in the back of the truck. Let's do a quick overview of the system here. Sitting on a 33 by 33 by 2 inch plastic pad. They put a couple bends on the 7/8 and the 3/8 copper. They never cut the zip ties. That goes up to the attic, and the air handler's on the opposite side of the house. There used to be a carrier system here. Zip tied the whip. So there's our container of R32. It's painted red and off-white because it's flammable. It is an A2L refrigerant. A2L refrigerants have replaced R410A refrigerants because of the global warming products in it, or the percentage of how dangerous to the atmosphere and the ozone layer Puron is. So it's crazy when you come across a Freon system. What I tell my clients is that your system is so old that the refrigerant that replaced Freon has also been phased out. They're like, "Oh my God, really?" Come on, Gio, hook it up. Call them Gio again. Let's do on the red side. Okay, put that on the scale. Zero it out, please. Cool. Oh. Cool. Let's give it some gas. 0.3. Okay. No. Why'd you do that? No, why'd you reset it? What? Oh, why'd you reset it though?
How are you gonna get a clear indication on the charger?
Well, you zeroed it out once we put it on there, right? And then I introduced refrigerant into the hoses, which was 0.3. So whatever that is, we have to add 0.3 to it. So let's add. I'm gonna go to 1 pound only because I think that's what we need. Not really cooperating that much here. So we're at 0.8, so that would be 1.1 pounds. Let's let the system run for a little bit, and we'll go to our climate class probes. I don't think this is accurate. Let's see. 112. See, it hasn't refreshed yet for some reason. There we go, see? So we still are at low subcooling. Let's wait. Plus that 0.3 that was in there already. Damn, like what is up? This is more than they didn't properly charge during install, in our opinion. Just an educated guess, but almost at 7 degrees of subcooling with 3.6 pounds of refrigerant of R32. I wonder if the person who installed this is watching this video. If you are, reach out to me, Mike at mikeypipes.com, and tell me, what did you do? Be honest. Because we know you didn't even fill this out. We know you didn't cut your zip ties. At least you use zip ties. Right? You did well here, but you at least could have put the non-UV rated thermostat wire behind some liquid tight as well, you know? Just some constructive criticism. That's closed. Let's dump the charge that's in the hose into the system. Cool. Now you could take the hose off. The hose goes back in the climate class case. We are condensing. Let the system balance out. I'm in no rush. Yeah, we're getting higher numbers with that subcooling, 7.8. It's fluctuating a little bit. Going up and down, up and down, up and down. I wonder if there's any non-condensables in this line. But it could be worse. So on June 4th, 2025, we were here for that maintenance agreement service, and system was low on refrigerant. 2 years prior, in 2023, we added 13 pounds with sealant. We discussed options with the homeowner. For now, we are letting the system run as is. System is cooling with 2.4 degrees of subcooling and requires 10. And they had a carrier system here. You're going to see that on June 4th, 2025, I quoted them $14,490 for the Mikey Pipes Extreme Plus 4-ton system. It wasn't R410, that's a typo. With the line set though. With the line set, which is, it's a great price. You probably have like an 80-foot line set altogether across 2 attics. But they went with the lower bidder and got an Amana. 8.2. No, this is not right because these are not loading. Yeah, but you have to wait for it because it's like dumb. There we go. There you go. 8.1. See, it's moving around. All right, take the probes off. I think we're done for now. Now, before all the keyboard warriors start chiming in and want to not give constructive criticism, you know, I don't typically talk about pricing on the Mikey Pipes Pipe Doctor YouTube channel. Why? Because every market is different. Long Island is different than Florida. Florida is different than South Carolina. Labor rates are different. Overhead is different. Insurance. My agent is telling me I need to prepare for a premium, a renewal premium, that's going to be double, if not maybe possibly triple than what I'm paying there now, because of a lot of insurance carriers that handle home service providers are no longer writing policies in New York and they're not renewing. Right? So insurance is different. Every single aspect of the job is different. But what I can tell you this, cheap usually ain't good. And good usually ain't cheap. Hire a licensed professional. Make sure the job is done right. And stop shopping only by price. Because when it's 95 degrees outside or 20 degrees in your house, the cheapest guy usually becomes the most expensive mistake. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.